already?
Okay,
yeah,
You
that
almost
is an
told
important
me.
part.
That is so something that I would do.
I don't consent, for the record.
I was gonna foil you as well as myself. Welcome back to the Rockhound Podcast this evening, morning, noon, wherever you are. We're super excited to have a return guest tonight. Very exciting, pretty popular out there, actually. But first, we'd like to thank you for tuning in from wherever that you are tuning in from. So go ahead and leave it in the comments where that is, who you are, what you're up to. We would love to know. We care. And so without further ado, who are you, guest tonight?
Well, I'm Taylor, and I go by Agate Dad. I'm based out of Minnesota, and I make rock hounding and lapidary videos. It's kind of like a rock hounding and lapidary vlog, sharing my journey as I go through all this stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming back. I
Thanks for
love the
having
way
me.
that you say agate.
Thank you. I get a lot. I only get it a couple times a day where people are telling me I don't say it right, so that's fun. But they're like, it's funny because a lot of people are like, it's like agate or something like agriculture. I'm like, agriculture.
That's what I'm saying.
I say everything wrong, like vague and flag. It's just me. I blame my parents.
Yeah.
Well, I prefer it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
That's when you
Welcome
should
back.
play. That's when you should play into it and just make a shirt that looks like an egg, but has like all the fortification lines on the inside of it, and that would
Like
be
sitting under an archway?
or something. Just
Egg
play-
gate?
Ugh, bugging me.
That's another one I get. It's agate, not agate. I'm like, agate? That's not agate. No. But whenever I do like subtitle stuff on videos on YouTube, I have to go like Control F and type in egg to get all the eggs out of there because that's what it thinks I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sure that you totally confound the closed caption. Okay. Well, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for being here. And let's see, who are you this week, Ed?
I am Ed, and I am lost in 18 different kinds of way.
I like how that's a singular.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Can't have things making sense.
Right. Well, thank you for that. And welcome, Ed, that you found us even though you are lost.
It's impressive.
And... Yes. Kyle, how about you?
Well, I'm Kyle. Hi.
Hi, Kyle.
World of Rockhounds, and I'm addicted to rocks and stuff. And I'm in Oregon, so I'm glad to be a part of this Rockhound Anonymous meeting.
Karen?
Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. And thanks for coming out from behind the curtain this evening and joining
I came
us.
for the coffee and the cookies, but I don't see any here, so we're good.
Well, thank you. And I am Karen from Ozone Fine Art Ventures out here on the glorious Oregon coast that is actually warm right now. May it last all winter long. Haha. And in a complete fashion of dropping the ball today, I did not compile the shouts. So what we'll do is a super duper quick version. And before we do that, we'll go ahead and say hi
Hey,
to the fifth member of the party this evening. Kurt, no problem. Actually, perfect timing. Go ahead and introduce yourself. We were just there.
No, my name's Kurt with Rock.Hounding.Adventures in Western Colorado.
Woo. All right. We got a full house. And so really quick, we'd love to thank Jeff for being in the show last time. It was chock full of fossils. So if you missed it, go back and check that out because I don't know if you've ever seen so many trilobites and so much talk about those things, especially the fossils that you can find out east. But he also hit some Western locations like Utah and was talking about some of the places where you might have closer to you or might be exotic if you are used to all that stuff on the East Coast. And Patrick Donahue, I wanted to give him a quick shout. He just did an incredible documentary on the uranium in Washington. Did anybody see that yet? Because
I have not yet.
Not yet.
you are in for a treat. I mean, he really seriously could be a professional documentarian. He is so good. And so I definitely don't want to miss that video. Go watch that after you're done watching this and the prior podcast if you didn't have a chance to see Jeff. And then I would also like to congratulate Allison Prairie Girl Rocks on her new 12-inch saw. You know, everybody is always so excited when you get a saw. And so we're excited for you. We're going to be seeing some super good stuff because she also pulled a Kyle. She went to an estate sale and like amassed this incredible bunch of rocks. And so she was just showing some of her boxes, you know, the fun of just like going through like a slab box of all over. So anyways, that was going on. And we love seeing your comments, both in the comment section of this video, but also, and that's actually how we shout. If you leave a comment, then we'll go ahead and shout you on the next podcast, but also everybody in the chat and over there on the Discord. We love you all week long doing your shows and tells and keeping us updated on all of your rock foolery. And so if you want to be part of that, go ahead and use the email in the description and request an invite. While you're at it, go ahead and send us some pictures of your very favorite rocks or whatever you'd like to show and tell. That is a rock. I mean, you know, keep it clean, folks, unless they're dirty agates. In that case, go for it. But go ahead and send us those pictures and you'll be part of the next viewer show and tell. So that's the shouts, the quick version. And without further ado, we should probably get into how everybody's past week was. And so we'll go ahead and start off with Taylor. What's cooking in the lab?
It's been a pretty good week. Got a couple cutting projects finished and just working on one of the two videos right now. The first one, a video coming out tomorrow, or I guess Friday. Cutting 3 chunky agates, and they're just really, really great. Turned out great. Cutting it for somebody, so I'm excited to get it back. It's for Isaac, a little guy, so really excited about that. And then I cut my very first Montana agate. Also, that was a delight. That was hard.
Yeah, right.
You know, I was literally gonna say that I would need to send you a box of stuff, so we'll have to talk more after the podcast.
A box of blade killers.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was, my hands were like, you know, give me my strong hand afterwards. I was like, oh my gosh.
They're brutal.
They're tough.
Yeah, but you know, besides that, it was a good week. Pretty exciting week. I ended up getting my play button this week, so that was kind of cool. So
I saw that.
Oh, that's so awesome, man.
Oh, that's so cool.
A teaser.
So, yeah, teaser. The unboxing video comes out Saturday, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Cool.
Where's the all natural play button? Where'd it go?
It's right above it.
Right there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. You can kind of see like the glare and the little triangle.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
My
first play button.
You should.
Nice.
You can always make a mold of your play button and then sell replicas.
There you go.
You can be part of the Agate Dad family. Here's a replica.
It's actually not a bad idea. That's cool. Just fill it with something.
Yeah.
You could do like a epoxy with agates inside it.
Oh, there you go. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be real cool.
That could be a thing.
Million view videos.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is that the culmination of your week's efforts pretty much?
Yeah. Just we got more editing to do for that Montana agate video. It should be easier than the cutting process. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. You're on the downward slope of it for sure.
Yeah. My hands still hurt.
Yeah, I commiserate with that.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You know, I actually cut it for Travis, 406 Findings. And I was
Yeah.
like, now I know why you sent this to me, because you didn't. It was like this size. It's huge. It's really beautiful. Really, really pretty.
Yeah.
But, yeah, really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
rough.
the one thing is they're worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so
They're
much going
good.
on. It's so cool.
Yeah. That's so hard. It's a love-hate relationship for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I think actually, speaking of Travis, it's like he's the one that always says that Montana Agate is the secret hidden hardness 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd sign that petition. I'd sign that one in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Let's get
I
it going.
concur.
Crank it to 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why it's so hard. Like, there's got to be some kind of science behind it.
I don't know, because it's like you talk to anyone about Montana agates, and even I don't know. It's like most people will just be like, "Yeah, I mean, all agates are a 7.5." Like, yeah, cut a Montana agate and come back and tell me that that's only 7.5. Like, I will.
Right.
I call a pox on that theory.
Yeah. Or if that's 7.5, like everybody else needs to be downgraded.
Yeah, we need to reassess the scale if that's a 7.5.
You're demoted, sir.
Yeah, but that
Yeah,
hardness. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I cut those 3. I did like a double cutting session. I cut those 3, and they were bigger. They're like the same size, if not bigger, than the Montana agate. And those 3 were quicker cuts than the Montana agate. Like,
Yeah.
so I cut by a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
they're
this
kind
is
of brutal.
wild.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Taylor, for your week's assessment. And how about you, Ed? What's up?
Well, I'm gonna do like Spark Notes version because I've been gone for like 6 weeks because I've been just crazy busy. Like trying to remember the last time I was on, and it's been a long time. So we've been.
Was it with Taylor?
Yeah, it was that long ago. No, it was like right after we got back from Kemmerer, I think. That was the last time. So yeah, like
Yeah.
the entirety of August I was gone. So trying to think. We've done a ton of rock hunting. I'm trying to get in as much as I physically can before the snow flies. I've got a bunch of shop videos going, a couple unboxings. Derek the Rockmaster sent me the craziest box I've ever received in my life. That video I think is going to be coming out either this week or next week. Went to Kemmerer again. Got some crazy stuff. That video, I don't know when that's coming out. I bought some stuff on my way down there that I actually have one here for show and tell. That's going to be a video all on its own. Went out yesterday. Went out last week. Got, again, show and tell. Craziest Montana agate I've ever found. It's insane. Got it here for show and tell. Went up to the mountains like 2 or 3. I don't know. It's probably more like 4 hours away from Billings. And nothing but amygdaloidal basalt. It was an awesome day.
Wow.
I love me some amygdaloidal basalt. So going out and only finding amygdaloidal basalt, it was awesome. So
I'm just like having a great time just hearing you say that over and over.
I love it. It's my favorite. It's like one of my
Say it again.
favorite words. It's amygdaloidal basalt. It's like one of my favorite words on the planet. And I love it.
You know,
And
like...
it looks wildly different depending on where you find it. So like whatever the local agates are, that's what you're going to find. I have a piece with me for show and tell as well. On our way to Kemmerer, I stopped and loaded up on banded iron. Really nice banded iron. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so nice. And 2 days ago, Kyle, can I share my screen, please?
Yep. I already made that adjustment, so you can.
Yeah. I did this. Went and got Aurora pictures.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
I don't remember which one it is, but one of them has pictures. Which one is it? I gotta find it now.
Of UFOs.
Yes.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Great
there's one
lines.
of them. I caught some shooting stars because there just so happened to be a meteor shower.
Oh, cool.
Find some of the other ones. Yeah. Well, anyway.
Beautiful.
Don't want to take too much time. Oh, there's another one. Right.
I see it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's faint, but I can see it.
Northern Lights and shooting stars. It's pretty cool. How do I end this? Oh gosh, I never know how to stop this. There we go.
Let me know.
And on other notes, second channel notes, I've got one project going right now two more that I'm hoping to start soon. And the one I'm working on right now is just, I don't know why I thought it was going to be a quick project. I'm like easily like 40 hours in already. I'm not even to the halfway point. It's like, I
was wondering about that actually.
Yeah.
When you showed the plan, I was like,
I was like, oh,
if I know anything about that, that's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the halfway point, but it's the really, really time consuming part right now. The rest of it, it's the tedium at the moment. So it's really, really slow going, and it feels like it's slow going. Once we get past this hump, which we're almost over, then it gets into the fun part, which is the like actual shaping and stuff like that. So hopefully by the next podcast, I can have that as a show and tell to show you all.
Gold leaf it.
That thing is huge. That would take so much gold leaf.
That's true.
It would. Oh my gosh, it would be cool though. So yeah, there's the like very, very, very shortened, very glossed over how my last month and a half was.
All right.
Busy.
Well done.
I could have just said busy.
But you do every week or every other week,
gosh.
you know, we hear busy. It was crazy.
I keep feeling like there's going to be a point where it calms down again, and it just never happens. Like ever. Oh yeah, I did my very first live stream also during that time frame.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And congrats on that. I think we might have mentioned it here on one of the other podcasts because that was a good time. Yeah.
It was.
Looking forward to the next one.
I was like, oh, first one, we'll keep it shorter. It was like 8.5 hours, I think.
I heard you say that, and I was like, "There's no way it's gonna be
Yeah.
that short."
I was hoping, but I definitely did not expect to go from 2 to 10:30 p.m.
I knew it. I knew it
Yeah,
the
like-
whole time.
You had
Oh my
something
gosh.
important to do that night. And I
Well-
was like, that ain't happening.
Well, that's the funny thing is we were getting ready to shut down, and Alexis was like, I can just go do it and you can keep the live going. We're like, all right, well, I guess this is the halfway mark, not the we're done mark.
Because like you had just scratched the tip of the iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were only a couple of like, shifts into the thing.
I know. Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
all of a sudden you start going like, how does Kyle do it? He bends space and time to be
Pretty
able
much,
to.
man.
Yeah.
Especially like, that first hour was overwhelming. We got into a good flow later on, but yeah, I'm excited to do another one. Hoping next week, probably doing another one.
Do it.
Shooting for at least once a month.
Do it.
It's fun. I was hoping like 20, 30 people would show up. I think we had like 150 people in there at one point. I'm like, oh my God.
I feel like I saw it like it hit 180 at one point. Like that was like
Yeah.
the very peak, and then went just down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
You're going to need somebody on the chat because that was the thing. Like, if people are trying to bid or any of that, like
Yeah.
it seemed like the chat was moving pretty quick. And
It was. Oh my gosh.
yeah, like, so you might need a few people to assist you on that because that was pretty crazy,
Yeah, it was. It really was.
but good. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was good.
crazy in a good way. I mean that in a good way. All right. So is that pretty much it?
Yep, I think so. For now.
Wow. Very good. Very good. How about you, Kurt? What's up?
Not much. I've just been trying to get ready to head to Texas tomorrow, and pretty much just been doing as much wire reps as I can.
Dropping them beats.
What?
Totally dropping beats.
I said dropping them beats.
Oh yeah. And been getting out and doing a lot of hikes recently, and finding a lot of cool granite, and that's pretty much it. It's been kind of easy last 2 weeks. So
Nice. Are you going to be able to do some hounding when you're down south?
I hope so. There's a couple spots I used to hit up for like arrowheads and stuff when I was younger. I kind of want to stop back by those places, and but I'll have to cross the lake to get there. Well, like there's no way to get there because it's private property, but like family owned property, but you have to like boat across or swim across the lake. So
I'm
Yeah.
seeing you with your knife and your teeth,
Oh, I know.
like just
I know.
going
No,
for it.
not.
just
You
swimming.
got a rock pick.
Rock pick. Yeah, perfect. All right, we'll be looking forward to the video then on that one.
Yeah.
All right, well, is that pretty much it? Just
Yeah.
looking forward to getting down. All
Yep.
right. Awesome. And I'm sure we have some of that maybe to see for the show and tell that you mentioned. Finding, maybe.
What?
Do you have a show and tell from
Oh.
the, like the pink granite or any of that good stuff?
Well,
Not yet.
I found.
I'm just
I found a. I've been trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for show and tell, but I did find a cool piece of granite from the place we were at today, and I can show that. But it's across the room because it smells like fish. So
Make sure it's
like soaked in the peroxide. I like cleaned it with this soap, vinegar. It still smells like soap. I mean, it smells like fish.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll wait on that then. Perfect. I'm glad though. I can't wait to see that. I love the stuff that you find. All right. Well, thank you. And how about you, Kyle?
My week has been pretty busy to the point where I don't remember most of it.
I was gonna say, Kyle, you look like you're not even here right now.
Yeah, I got so
my week. I don't even know what month it is.
I don't know if you can see it from the background, but I'm gonna do this here. Spotlight. So back here on my shelf, I found
one?
all the bracelets and up and out of the way. So it's actually I just pick up this whole camera here. Oh my gosh, we're going for a ride. So like it freed up
Field trip.
freed up this whole desk behind me. And so it's gonna go over here. And so that really helped. So it's just I keep continuously updating everything here in the shop, so that way it's better organized and kind of up and out of the way. And I was trying to make it so I can pick stuff out for my lives like in advance. So I have all the trays are on the desk behind me right now. Like I was starting to pick stuff out, and I'm like, I don't think I want to do that. I'll take pictures of stuff I plan on taking to the lives, but I'm not gonna like set everything out in trays. Because I purposely cleaned off that entire table so everything's nice and clean, nice and organized. And if I get into like picking trays out, that means I'm gonna have trays everywhere. I'm like, no, I'll just take pictures, make a list. Like, all right, this is what we're gonna have on Saturday or Tuesday, whichever day I do the lives, and then so there's that. And then I'm trying to figure out better posting schedules across all platforms. I was working with Taylor a little bit behind the scenes. Getting some advice, and so I'm gonna try to do some more of that. So I made mention in a members post. So I don't feel like I've been doing like 100%. I've been like kind of like giving like 10-15% of my best. So I need to be doing better and post more across all platforms, and get a schedule going, keep to the schedule, and that way I can grow my channel. I've actually Amy offered. So Amy's been helping for a little bit of stuff behind the scenes. And so we have like a little board in the rock room where like you can like manually put the numbers in there, like for the channels, the channels at. And so she's been updating like the board every single day. And she's like, it's been so exciting. Like she's like, it's gone like 100 subscribers since I started doing this. She's like, by this time next year, you should have 10,000. I'm like, if not sooner. It'd be cool if I get to 10,000 before the year's up. So I got a few months.
All right. Well, I'm sure that everybody out there that loves your channel, which is everybody watching right now, I'm sure is excited to hear that you're going to be doing more. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Lots to look forward to.
I got to apply myself. That is the key. Apply myself, get a schedule, and stick to the schedule. Because, yeah. But that was my week.
That's
Back to you,
something
Gary.
I struggle with also. Like I'm really good about YouTube, but oh my gosh, any other social media I'm so bad at. Like I need to focus more on Instagram, but I forget every time. I'll post like once. It's like, all right, we're gonna post once a day for 3 weeks. See what happens. I'll make one post and then forget. It's like 6-7 days later. I'm like, oh well, that didn't work. All right, we're gonna start again.
So as I'm finding out with Meta, because they have like the business suite from Meta.
Yeah.
And so you can actually see the calendar for that week. And I'm like, I kind of wish that YouTube would do the same thing, like have this a week like that you can see like what you have scheduled. I'm like, that's actually kind of nice because that means like, okay, for that day I had that scheduled. And if you have Instagram like linked up with it, it'll actually cross post between like Instagram and Facebook, so you don't have to go to Instagram separately to do that. I'm like, this is actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a nice little marriage right there.
Yeah. Alexis said that she'd become my social media manager, so I appreciate that because I'm really bad at Instagram.
Have her help you.
So yeah, I literally just like post a picture with nothing every now and then, and I'm happy. It's like, I can do that.
Well, I can't imagine that you just don't have time for things like that, having 2 channels and actually doing all the other stuff you do.
Yeah.
The shop.
I forget. There's a lot of stuff gets overlooked. It's just crazy all the time.
Yeah. I'm sure all of us feel like we could dive on into way more of that social media. One of the problems is that I'll go and I have in mind that I'm posting something, and then a half an hour later the window of opportunity is up, but I caught up on everybody else's.
Yes.
Alexis
I
always
was very
tells
entertained.
Yeah, exactly. Alexis always tells me I focus so much on my 2 channels that all other social medias just get overlooked. Like, that's probably true. It's probably very accurate.
Well, I mean, in some ways, it's better to be good at something than, you know what I mean, instead of being maybe spread too thin. Well, look at it that way. That's how I'm going to have to look at it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Just making excuses here. And so thank you, Kyle. And my week has been flying by like crazy. It's kind of the closure of some of the season. Best weather's kind of going by, so I'm working like crazy outside, doing all the super dirty work, like the ironstone Australian boulder opal wearing spray tan thing that is going on pretty much for a couple weeks now at my house outside. And so you're going to be seeing a little bit of that for the show and tells. I'm trying to get to all the special orders and that sort of thing. I've got a show that I committed to that I need to start getting ready for. And so, yeah, lots of stuff just right up in my like minute view, it feels like. And of course, I want to get out and do more hounding before the mud season catches up to Oregon. So I just don't plan on sleeping for a few weeks the next time they see me. Should be interesting. And so at any rate, that's kind of been what I've been up to, trying to keep up with a fervor of creation before the window of opportunity to do the messy outdoor work is over. So I'm betting that some others feel that way right now as well. All those.
I'm just waiting for colder weather because how well insulated my garage is. It's I can work more indoors, and I don't have to worry about being so hot.
There are upsides. I really miss my faceting machine because I'm not allowed to use it right now. That's an indoor project. Like, wet angle grinding and, opal cutting and all that kind of stuff that is really super messy. That's what has to happen right now. And it's not like you have to twist somebody's arm to be in the mood to like say cut boulder opal. I mean, that's like a super good time, but like at the same time, I keep on looking woefully at some of the things that I'd love to get to, and it's like,
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't turned my fasting machine on in like 4 months at this point. It's
man, that's so painful.
I know. It's like, just wait till winter. It's like, can't go outside. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'll be fun to be a winter hermit, but right now it's like, you want to get all this stuff outside done. Okay, so that's where all that is, and we are going to get into the deep nitty gritty deep discussion of stardom now with Taylor.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, well, I'll spin it off to you, and I'll just congrat you first for getting your play button, but then you can go ahead and continue the way that you want to.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, it was kind of a surreal week because I got like the email notification from YouTube that it was shipped out. So I was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. And
It's coming.
it was really exciting and stuff. And then like it was like the day I was like, it's being delivered like today. So that was pretty cool. And I'd thought about it for a while. And a couple of years ago, I made it wasn't the main goal of all this, but it was like a secondary goal. Kind of made the goal like let's shoot for that because it's kind of uncomfortable. It's not safe. It's risky. Like if you don't do it, you might be a little embarrassed that you failed and stuff. So it was kind of like a push yourself kind of goal. And like I said, it was a secondary goal. It's not the most important goal. The most important goal for me is creating the most enjoyable experience with my videos. And I mean, just trying my best with the skills that I have at that time and trying to get better each time. But it was pretty fun that day leading up to it because, I kind of got in my head. I'm like, is the buildup more exciting than the moment? Because then it's like, it's all done. It's like a minute, but the buildup's been like forever. And then I got to open it and I was so happy because it was very, very sweet. It was way better than I thought. I'm like, it definitely was better than the buildup. So it was cool. It was a really cool day. So, and it was fun putting it on the shelf. So,
Heck yeah.
So,
Front
yeah.
and center.
Next goal, gold play button.
Go play.
I don't know. I kind of talked about that whole idea in the unboxing video. I was like, I know my worth and I don't think that's gonna happen. So, I mean, there's other people I look up to in like the creator space, and I'm like, you don't have one. There's no way. So, but I don't know. I'm not worried about milestone goals anymore. It's just enjoy it and focus on create the most enjoyable video possible and do everything I do with longevity in mind. So I can hopefully make it like 10 years. So 6 more years.
You got
At
it.
least.
And then we stop.
I mean,
Yeah.
according
Probably
to
not.
Social Blade,
Yeah.
according to Social Blade, I think it said in the next 5 years you should hit about 2 million. That's Social
crazy.
Blade's estimated projection of your channel. And
That's weird.
Amy and I were talking about this, like, because like I told her, hey, this thing called Social Blade, we can type in like a channel's name. It shows like how many videos they've had, how long they've had their channel, their
Social Blade's cool,
and their estimated growth. It is an estimation. It doesn't mean like it can come to fruition because supposedly I should get to like 100,000 in like 5 years or something like that. And I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take into account like you get like videos that kind of pop and everything, and you get that it will happen, it does happen, and stuff like that. It increases the size of the snowball going down the hill, and you can't quite project it. But that's funny as I stopped looking at that for the main channel a while ago, but our shorts channel, I was like, I've never looked at that. So I looked at that. I'm like, it actually says that it'll hit that in like 3-4 years. I'm like, I don't think it'll do that either.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Shorts pop off like crazy. I wouldn't doubt that, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm trying a new thing with that channel too. Sorry, I keep itching my nose. I gave Bentley a hug before we started. Now I got dog hair on my nose. But the kind of the new model that I'm trying with that shorts channel is like it's not just shorts, it's just short content. So like I'll post like a vertical short and then like a vertical 1-minute video, and that isn't a short, and then like a horizontal like 4:3 ratio 1-minute video. I'm just trying a whole bunch of different stuff and it's surprisingly doing really good. And I'm just like, I can't believe it's doing what it's doing right now. So it's pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to see. I think your the level of commitment that you have if anybody is wondering who is a channel out there about, you know, how to comport oneself so that you can get yourself a button, Agate Dad is definitely somebody to look at.
Thank
On
you.
account that I especially enjoy seeing your presence over on Instagram. I spend a fair amount of time over there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you are so thorough. You're so good. Like, I get to talk to you every day. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see something cool. And so, yeah. I mean, you definitely you're walking the rock talk for sure. You deserve it.
Yeah.
I guess is
Heck
like
yeah.
a quick way to say that.
Well, thank you guys so much. That's so nice. It's you guys were talking about scheduling and stuff, and you guys are a lot more neat and tidy with your schedule. Like I do everything up here. I tried to do the write-out thing. I'm like, this is stressful. I can't do this.
Yeah.
This is like I was like, I don't have anxiety. I'm like, what's this? You know?
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. I'll just do it in my head. And my wife's like, I don't know how you do that. I'm like, I don't know. But
I can't.
I
do
just
that.
use a timer on my phone now, and I just set it for like 3 hours, and then it's like, all right, I gotta post another video in 3 hours, and it's like on every platform that a short goes on, which is, you know, all 4 of them. I just post it and then hit the timer for 3 hours.
Wow.
So
That's actually a really good idea. I don't
Yeah.
know if you think about that.
it's easy. I just day at a time, and there's no commitment.
Time for them to take their medication.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't worry too much about like posting times or anything anymore. It's just like, this is gonna do what it's gonna do, and hopefully people enjoy it. So that's the main
Definitely.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think also that like the thought that you put into it, you're creative, you're funny, you know, I think that a good thing to think about while you're creating content is like, am I stoked to see it? Do you think
Yeah.
my mom or somebody who doesn't know me might be stoked to see it? Like,
Yeah.
did I just get bored by myself? You know, and so it's super cool to also be watching what you do, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, that was a good idea, or that was really funny, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I like the time that you take to create time. You respect your viewers' time very much.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it like that, it's like we all get 24 hours in a day. This is our only life that we're gonna get to live. I don't want to waste your time. And if you don't like it, don't waste your time. Like I've had some people say stuff like, I wish you would do this or that. I'm like, if you don't like it, don't waste your time. Like not at all trying to be smart. It's like, please don't waste your
Great
time.
response.
Yeah.
Please, if like I don't like the music, it's like, well, it's my video. I mean, if you
Yeah,
don't
thank
like it,
God. Yes.
go watch someone else's video that you like that doesn't have music. Like
Yeah.
you do whatever you want.
The mute button
And-
is right here.
Yeah,
Turn
put the
subtitles
subtitles on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
you know,
one of my biggest pet peeve comments. Like, your music's too loud. Your music's too quiet. I don't like this genre. I don't really like folk music. This is too poppy. I wish this was more poppy. Like, you can't make everyone happy.
Could you
Yeah,
put more
yeah.
rocks in it? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't please everybody. That's
Exactly.
For sure. If you're a people
Correct.
pleaser, don't be on social media.
which is ironic. We are creating, like, you know, entertainment, but
Yeah.
I think that that's where you need to keep it, even for yourself, is that, like, you know, they're gonna feel it if you're stressed or whatever about like just putting the thing out, you know. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
keeping it entertaining for yourself, is it worthwhile for you to do? Is it worthwhile for them to watch? And keeping it light. And yeah, just
Yeah.
don't read the bad comments, or, you know, I guess Joe Rogan doesn't read any of them, you know, so he can afford
that's
to.
funny. Yeah,
Usually,
I
I
mean,
just
like-
I just delete the bad comments. I don't even entertain a response. I just like delete. It's like that negativity's not allowed here.
that's funny. And with like certain videos, it's really easy to make it like an entertaining experience, like rock hounding. I mean, if you don't find anything, then there's no video, but
Yeah.
rock hounding and rock cutting is really, really fun, because like the way I look at that stuff is like, this is the only one, and we're finding it for the first time. We're cutting this open for the first time. Like, this is so fun. And like in the moment, like, yeah, I'm alone in my garage cutting or whatever, but I'm like, I'm sharing with whoever's watching. So it's like
Yeah.
this weird weird thing, but it's just so exciting. But it's a little harder with like polishing because
Oh,
it's not instant gratification. It's
oh
like,
my gosh.
and like I'm
Yeah.
very thankful. I have very good patience, and I can just sit there for hours and not worry about it. Even like if I got to back up, I'm like somehow through the editing process, this has to be enjoyable because this could be super boring.
Yeah.
You know?
You were talking
Like-
about tedium before, and that was one thing that occurred to me. I think you kind of have to be into tedium to love this sport much, especially the lapidary side of it. And then, like you said, and what kind of genius do you have to be to make that interesting?
Time lapse has entered the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought about that a lot with the cabbing videos or polishing, whatever it is. I'm like, there's channels out there like Justin at Black Opal Direct. I'm like, if he can do it, because that's like everything he does, and he does it so well.
Right.
Like, so it's like he could do it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but he did it. So someone found a way.
It's possible.
So, yeah,
Well,
so
it doesn't
yeah.
hurt to have really sexy content, like who doesn't
Like
want to
opals.
see that opal? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got top shelf stuff, so you're just going like, what's he gonna do with that knobby?
Yeah,
Like,
We're going in. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but you're right. His enthusiasm and his own interest and pure desire to bring you along for the educational process of it is so sincere that you can't help but totally get it's infectious. He totally gets you with that. And so that's definitely something that helps a lot, is sharing your enthusiasm, which you do.
Yeah, and I think it's being able to do it in a wholesome and natural way is important for me too, because there's days where I'm like, it was a long work day and like you have a headache or whatever. I'm like, I'm not in the mood, so I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna go sit on the couch with an ice pack, and if I feel better tomorrow, that's when I'll do it, because then it's like I can be natural and share that natural excitement, and there's no forcing going on. So
I'm picturing you with your Maker's Challenge like thingies on.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
instead of the ice pack.
they're pretty good. They're almost too good, because like I'll have to set them out for a few minutes before I put them on, because I'm like, man, these are too cold. Like freezing my eyeballs. Like
I'm sorry, I interrupted there. Continue.
Oh no, I don't even remember what I was saying.
Well, I think it was part about being infectious with your sincere enthusiasm for what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think, with that too, you're sharing your passion, you're sharing your joy for it, and you're sharing it. So the people that are watching, you're gonna, like, I love the saying, cloths of the same thread stick together. You're gonna find happy people, and they're gonna subscribe or follow or at least watch and comment. It's like, that was fun. And I get those comments all the time, like, your reactions are so fun. I'm like, that's good, because like it's so fun. Like we get to see inside this stuff or find it or polish it. Like their first time experiences, and it's just so special. So I love being able to put some positivity out into the world. And I think it's just been a huge blessing to be able to do that. And it means the world to me. It's been really fun doing that, because I'm sure you guys have got this too, but I get like a lot of private messages and stuff about like what the videos mean to people. And that just like I'll be honest, there's been a few, and like a few even lately, that they bring you to tears, because it's just like, I didn't know you were going through that, and before today I didn't know you existed, and now I do, and you're telling me what these videos have meant to you and what you're going through. And it's so sweet. I didn't realize when I started, and I'm sure all you feel the same way too, but I didn't realize how it was going to affect so many people, and it's just so sweet.
Absolutely.
Here. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, there's definitely value, even if there wasn't like a monetization that happens. The value is what you're talking about, the connections that you get to make with the people, like real friends, like the community that happens around this. And then people that maybe aren't part of the community necessarily, but might not be able to leave their house and they get to go rock hounding through
Oh.
you or what have you. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
it's an
exactly.
incredible thing to be able to just even bring that like different view into somebody's world. How cool.
Yeah. That's one I get a lot too, is like I used to rock hound a lot, but I can't anymore. I'm a what do they call it? A retired rock hound, or a armchair rock hound. And it's like, I'll bring you. I got you. You're coming with
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Like, let's do this. So that's why I truly think if I was doing it alone and like not filming it, like, it'd probably be like, that's awesome. But when I feel like I'm sharing it with people, those people, it's like, this is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
this is so exciting. So like, I really love the community that, we have in lapidary and rock hounding, especially like, it's how we all should feel towards our own channels and stuff, but the community on like my own channel and like all the platforms that I'm on, like, I just love that bond that we formed. It's so special.
Yeah. Was that a byproduct that was a surprise to you, Taylor?
I'd say so. If you can painfully get through the beginning, the first videos,
I feel that.
it was like today, I usually like I would wear sunglasses because I was so terrified. But I started, was like, today I'm gonna show you how to find agates. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I hadn't really figured it out. Like, I don't know. Like, I just want to try to help, but I don't know how, because I don't even know what I'm doing. And like, it was very, 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 very humble beginnings with it. And then things changed in the world, and people started making comments about like, I can't get out of my house. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I was like, I can, and I'm going to bring you with. And that's where it finally hit home. I'm like, this is why we started. Like, it was bigger than me. So it's been a huge blessing to be able to help out in some way. It almost feels like kind of like a form of service, and I used to serve in the military and kind of I got out and kind of I got out so I could be with my family and not get deployed and miss anything with my kids. And I kind of felt like, I don't know, almost selfish in a way. But then when I started doing this, I'm like, I'm still serving in a way. I'm trying to serve people enjoyable experiences. And it's just been totally meant to be. So very, very grateful for all this.
That's cool. And that totally explains your phone alarm perfectly. Like, okay. He totally knows how to do a thing at like, 0900 or whatever.
Yeah.
I need to get a little of that in my life. Way too abstract. But yeah, that's interesting what you say about the byproduct, because I doubt that anybody here sitting on this panel would say that they knew what they were getting themselves into, especially when it comes to being social, because I know that us four on the podcast are more hermit-like or more introverted than extroverted, but here we are, and it's the spoils are amazing as far as all of the input that people bring you for the output that you're throwing out there because you're compelled to for whatever reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the hermit antisocial thing, that's hi. It's man, I my number one fear, I don't know if it's still that, but it probably is, but like public speaking, oh my gosh, it's like every time I got up to do anything, I had to get embarrassed. Like, I just always disliked it, like sweaty palms. It's like up to here, like I'm gonna throw up because I have to talk in front of 6 people. Like, I always did something embarrassing in front of anybody, and like this is even like a couple of years ago. Like, I was the godfather for my niece, and I had to hold the candle, and they're like, all you have to do is walk around and hand the candle off. I'm like, okay, I can do that. But I forgot about the step, and I went, and I almost fell down the step, and the whole church was, ooh. I was like, this is a tomato. And I'm like, I could die right now. It was awful. And I'm like, I told you I'd screw it up. I told you I'd do that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think
so
that we were just
fun.
yeah. over on Kyle's live, I think it was, we were talking about public speaking, weren't we, Kyle?
Yeah. In grade school, I always took the failing grade over public speaking. Like, I was very adamant about it. I'm like, they're like, you need to teach one class or we're gonna flunk you. I'm like, give me enough. I don't care. It's not gonna happen. Though when I was in Job Corps, like certain trades had to go through like a communications class, and I think I talked about this before. And like there was no way around it. Like I had to take a communications class, and which means I had to do a speech. And so they're giving all the different Job Corps students like a fake job, and they had to talk about their fake job and like what they liked about it and this and that and whatever. And they gave me the job of Rocky Mountain oyster farmer, which at that time I didn't know what Rocky Mountain oysters were. So like I was like going off about like how like, oh man, my job's great. I get the taste of oysters every single day and this and that and blah 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 and the entire mindset, like I'm thinking that they're oysters, just like freshwater oysters. That's all I could think about. And it wasn't until after the fact, when everyone's like laughing, and I really wish that someone had recorded the whole thing because I think it would have been internet gold. Because it wasn't until afterwards they told me, I was like, yeah, Rocky Mountain oysters are bull testicles. And it's like I'm just like beet red, just like, are you kidding me?
That's funny.
And it's no wonder I don't like public speaking.
During that talk, you're like, I'm knocking it out of the park, and I don't even know why. Like,
Yeah, I thought it was great. So I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, okay, this isn't so bad.
That's great.
And then back to my shell I went.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
I think
funny.
that's like a huge misconception with a lot of YouTubers. I don't know. I definitely know some YouTubers that are super outgoing that would have no problems with it. But like at the Gem Mineral show when I did my meet and greet, I was a freaking nervous wreck right before like a whole hour leading up to it. The person in the booth next to me was like, "Why is it an issue? I mean, you talk to thousands of people like every week." I'm like, "Not directly. There's a wall called the internet in between us, and I feel safe." It's different when they're like, within feet of me.
I think if we can ever do like an in-person like panel like Rockhound Podcast, it'd be really cool. Just have like a bunch of people like on the panel, and then I think we'd all have to get over our fears really quickly, or just like talk to each other and like have everyone like in the audience like ask us questions.
Yeah.
But then have me like behind the curtain, just like it's like a mesh like see-through green curtain. So I'm still there.
I'm sure that could be arranged.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. That would be fun. You want to come, Taylor? That would be awesome.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Love social situations. That sounds great.
Right. Lots of people on there.
The
There
funny
might be
thing
some
was we met thousands of people over the course of those 4 days. It was great, like one-on-one talking with everyone. I don't know why there's a thing in your brain that shifts when you're at the front talking to a room of people that changes everything. But like most of the people in there I talked to individually at one point or another over the course of but when you get them all together in one place, it's super intimidating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that I can't remember who it was. Kyle, maybe you can help me. The person that was saying they used to be professional with it was saying that when you're caught up in the subject, like if it's something that you truly love, it's much easier to flow and get over that crowd, terror or what have
Yeah.
you.
Someone in
It's
one of my
good.
lives, maybe, because I think
Yeah,
someone
it was in the live.
maybe was it Rock Twister?
I might have been Rock Twister. I think so.
I mean, that makes sense. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that?
No,
I
do you
heard
have a
something.
ghost?
You guys didn't hear that rumbling? That was like probably literally in the front yard lightning strike.
Ooh.
Oh,
My gosh. Oh,
Everybody watch Theo because
I gotta recenter
something
myself.
might happen next.
Oh my goodness. That was so loud. Okay. That literally like shocked the thought out of my brain. Oh yeah. So, when you're super like caught up in the subject matter. Like, yeah, it was super intimidating. Like the whole morning got slowly worse and worse as we got closer. I was like a nervous wreck and then it started and it was all fine. Because they're asking me questions about rocks and fossils and stuff like that. And it's like Oh, I'm passionate about this. Okay, let me ramble. Wait, you're telling me I get to ramble about the thing that I go on tangents about anyway, and the only difference is these people want to hear what I have to say about it? Dope. All right.
He's a new public speaking addict.
Well, I used to be a theater kid growing up. I used to love public speaking. I don't know what happened in my life, but I think it was right around high school that something in my brain chemistry changed. And it's like, yeah, we don't do this anymore. None of that.
That's funny. I can actually remember the exact moment when I was like, I am not into being in front of people. And I was in kindergarten and they were doing this, like, we're going to do a play. And it was The Princess and the Pea. And I'm like, oh, I want to be like the fox, And I was like, they're naming characters. I'm like, me. I want to do it. And then I got down and I'm like, well, it's me and this girl left. And there's the princess and the pea. I wonder which one I'm going to be. And I'm not even kidding you. Like the whole play, I had to huddle in a ball and she sat on me.
No.
In kindergarten. I was like just curled up, like I'm never doing this again.
Oh
and
my gosh.
I never did anything like public again. I'm like, I just had a girl sit on me in kindergarten. This is my life is over. I have cooties and everything.
Someone's grandma, if they're recording that play, someone has it on footage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta find it.
It was awful.
It's on VHS somewhere. You know it.
Burned in my memory.
Sorry, man. So can you eat peas, or like is it a trauma that is kind of
No. Just being in front of people. I don't let girls sit on me, so
that's an interesting one. Didn't come up in the Ask Me Anything, did it?
No.
All I can imagine now is like, okay, we have to get rid of your fear. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna be the princess, I'm gonna be the pea, and you're gonna tell me so we can kind of get over this.
We can do it at that live that you're talking about, Kyle.
Yeah, it's just straight exposure therapy.
We try it out and I never post another video again. Like, totally backfires.
Backfires and Kyle gets a bunch of hate.
No, Taylor, come back. I'll be the P this time, I swear.
We brought Taylor. Wow. Have you done lives, Taylor? Were your Ask Me Anything's lives, or have you just done video?
Mainly video. I've done like 2 lives on TikTok while polishing, and I was so scared for that. I was like, oh, like scared like for like equipment failures, or like it's funny, I had like my phone because I was doing the live through my phone, and I set my wife up as the admin or whatever to like help out if there's bad comments or something. And she texted me, she's like, you need to talk. Like if I had talked for like 5 minutes, I'm just polishing. She's like, say something. What are you doing? I was like, oh, so how's everybody doing tonight?
So I'll give you a little bit of 2 cents here. If you do a live, you actually might. I mean, I'm not sure what your the community like. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I'm not sure what kind of feedback you got off TikTok, because I know that TikTok gets some like kind of pretty negative comments, and that's why I haven't really like focused too much time on there compared to YouTube. If you did it on YouTube, like, dude, like I don't think you'd get any negative comments. You would have a pretty massive supportive community, and even if you weren't talking to anyone there, if you ever look at my lives, everyone's kind of talking amongst each other too. So like,
the chat is like its own entity.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's like I'm just very, very recently entered this world for the first time, so it's like still fresh in my brain. But it's like I don't know why I built it up into this thing that I was terrified of. Like YouTube Live is so much more fun than I thought it was going to be.
It's pretty darn fun.
Yeah.
And it is weird to like sit in the room and have the conversation one way. You can read their comments and you can converse about it. And involve people, which is super fun. That's different than a video, obviously.
Yeah.
But the first couple times I was, I have been a DJ, and so like not the kind that like scratches or whatever. Not that kind. So having the one-way conversation actually was something that I've done before. And so that definitely helped. But I did realize when I would listen to him back, oh yeah, well, if you're going to have a conversation with somebody in the chat with them by repeating what they said, just in case somebody in the room couldn't hear, because that's everybody. If they can't see the chat because they're seeing the replay on a phone or something like that. And so learning how to do the conversation, but I almost prefer doing the lives than the videos right now.
There was a lot of fun.
And fun. Yeah. And you get like this instant grad of the people that are, you know, digging it while you go along.
I was hoping to do one this weekend, but I don't think I'm going to be able to with how much stuff I've got piled up at the shop. So we're hoping next week we can do another live.
Are we taking too much time right now? Like you just expired? Like, sorry.
Oh no, I'm still just frazzled from the explosion in my front yard. My brain is still just like...
You're like, that's it. That lightning strike. I'm just not doing it this weekend.
I hope the car's still there.
Yeah, really.
That was scary.
I was gonna say, Taylor, you should try to do a YouTube live.
For sure.
I'd like to. It's definitely one of those things that you build up and you are like, that's probably where you're like, oh, this might be scary, or like, what if again, tech issues, whatever, and then you start doing it, it's like, oh, it's not so bad,
Right.
Just got to peel the Band-Aid.
That's exactly what I did. I built it into a
helpful 10
way bigger thing than it is.
If you're one
both times I tried doing it live, my phone decided to overheat and it lasted like 2 minutes.
But hey, you were on there, you tried.
Well, it's kind of like your first video. Expect it to be terrible, and so like get a couple of those out of the way. Like your phone will either overheat or run out of battery, or your internet will go down just because. And so there's that, and then get that out of your system. And the ones that go well, like it's kind of like Theo, where a couple hours later I totally was just gonna do like a quick 20-minute like, hey everybody, and a couple hours have gone by. You're like, how did that happen?
Yeah, we were planning on like 3 or 4 hours. I was not expecting to almost go 9 hours. That's just how much fun we were having. Like, we didn't want it to end. Everyone's like, okay, this is gonna be the last thing, and next thing we know, another 45 minutes have passed.
I'm saying bye.
Chatting. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Really saying bye.
No, you hang up.
So Taylor, we're just saying we're pushing you into this.
Yeah, Kyle.
I'd like to.
There. I
was gonna say, Kyle twisted my arm for like 3 months. I just do it. Just do a live. I don't know. I'm afraid. Just do it. And then I finally did it. So I guess now it's my turn to be the arm twister. It's like, do it. Do the live. You'll have so much fun.
And I gave as many tips and hints as much as I could to kind of help out a little bit.
Oh my gosh, dude. So freaking helpful. Kyle, you were instrumental in that. I don't have a number for how many times we referenced that like hour-long video you sent us. Like, well, what do we do in this case? Oh, just pull up the video. It's like, that's like at the 30-minute mark, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, what Theo was saying, I sent him an hour-long training video on how to do
how to do live sales,
and invoicing, and everything else. So let me help you, so you can know how I do stuff. Hopefully, it helps a little bit, because it can be a lot. But no, dude, if you just do a live, just start for a little bit, see what happens. And do you have Epidemic Sound at all?
Not Epidemic. I have Artlist.
So, because if you have a playlist, it does help a little bit, at least for your benefit. So if you're working in the shop, you have some music to listen to on your end. Because when I'm doing my lives, for the most part, I'm talking a lot. I do most of my talking on Saturdays and Tuesday nights, throughout the week period. But so having something else that's making sound in your shop, while you're doing live, is going to help a lot. And it might even help you out a little bit. Just find some tunes that kind of that help you a little bit, and just kind of relax, and then it's.
So you don't get the copyright.
That's a good idea.
But then your wife isn't calling you, going dude, it's too quiet.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I'll come down here after a cutting session or whatever. Just come down here to do some polishing, and I'll think, I'm gonna make shorts of the polishing process, but what if I just went live? And I'm pulled my phone up. I'm like, nah. But I'm like, I'm too scared. So, but yeah, I do think about doing it all the time. It's like, which platform I could do it on TikTok. I've done that. That's not scary, but like I could go live on Facebook or YouTube and just see what happens. It just like who cares, right? But it's just getting peeling the band-aid. I think it'd be fun
Yeah.
to try it sometime. So I don't think I would even announce it. I just do it because then it's like no one's here and it's all good.
No one's gonna watch.
That's actually a good point. My very first live that I did, I wanted to check in from the beach, and I told one person. And so I went live, and that person was there, like, okay, you're doing fine. And then like some more people showed up, and I was like,
That's
oh,
cool.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You got this.
First time riding a
Yeah,
bike feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
totally. Let go. Yeah.
Well, and if anything too, depending on what you're recording live on, you can use a secondary device to record your shorts at the same time. It's like, hey, make a video with me, and like that we can you can be recording as you're live, or at least get footage for your future recordings, so that way you're live and working on stuff. I think, yeah. You should try it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
I'm not used to this peer pressure.
I'm sorry.
I know, look at we gang up on the guest.
That's funny.
Hey,
No, I
at
think I
least
should.
at least this positive peer pressure that will lead to something great, and I promise it will.
Yeah,
I think
it
it'd
really
be fun.
is.
No, I think about it. I actually, I wanted to start doing it like a year ago, and then, well, a year went by and I haven't done one. But I do think about it. I've been thinking about it more lately. Like, that'd be fun. Just try it. Just do it. Why not?
If
Yeah.
you want, we could all be here, and then like for you, and then you can go live.
I should go live right now on YouTube and just like, what's up?
Everybody's like the podcast. We're confused.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be
It's
totally
funny.
weird, but-
There's like a whole community that you'll probably a lot of the names that you've seen in your comments. I mean, they're like the Rockhound YouTube regulars that you see on every video. But
Lapidary
there's-
Daves and
but there's like straight up a live and premiere community amongst that group, and they're there every time without fail, and it's awesome. So it's like, I don't know, when you read comments, it's like I feel like I know this person, and then when you chat with them back and forth at like dozens of different lives and premieres, it's like I really feel like I know this person.
and then they come out and they meet you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then you really do know them.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
always...
the conversations just get like more intimate because it's not just like, oh, thank you, user 296. Or whatever. It's like, Dave's here. What's up, Dave? You know?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's always nice putting the faces to names and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, always, or the few times where I've been, stopped by people and they say hi, it's like it's really nice. Like, oh, I can put the name to the face, and like even from that time, like I've talked to people posted like we met at this place, and it's like I remember you. That was cool. So it's really cool when that stuff happens. It's kind of.
Has that happened to you very often when like somebody will like recognize you out of the blue?
Yeah, I don't know how many times exactly, but I think it's like once every month or so, like somebody stops to say hi or something, and usually they're like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Did I like bump into you? Like, what?" And they're like, "Are you Agate Dad?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do that."
That's me.
Hey, yeah. And I always feel bad. Like everybody's been so nice, but I always feel bad. I'm like, I am so awkward. I'm sure they were like that's him. I'm always so like,
no.
But everybody's been super nice. So, yeah, it was funny. We were shopping once and we were walking, and I had like the kids in the cart, and this other guy with the cart and his kid was like pushing the cart, and it bumped into our cart. And he's like, "Sorry." I'm like, "No, it's fine. Kids are kids, right?" And like 2 minutes later, he comes up. I'm like, I thought he was gonna say like sorry again, and he's like, "Hey, are you Taylor? Agate Dad?" I'm like, same thing. It's like take it back. And I was like, it's so funny that like your kid hit my car. Just laughing about that. So what are the chances? And that he was super nice guy.
Nice.
Seems to always happen at Costco.
It's your demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because I've kind of unintentionally put Alexis in that situation way more than we ever envisioned would ever happen. So I'm a hermit, like straight up, I'm a hermit. If I'm not like getting necessities or going rock hunting, I'm at the shop or home. Like I don't really go out anywhere. But she is an assistant manager at Ace Hardware, so she gets recognized like, oh my gosh, you're Alexis. Like, or are you Alexis? Wait, you're Theo's girlfriend, aren't you? All the time. Like once a week she gets recognized because she is put in front of people 24/7. She's like, dude, I didn't sign up to be famous by proxy. I'm sorry, I never ever could have envisioned that happening.
That's
My bad.
Yeah, I know, I do feel bad. She's like, I don't like being put on the spot like this.
All right. Well, should we do some shows and tells? Taylor, do you have something cool to show us?
Yeah.
I mean, he could just lean to the left and show us something really,
All
really
right,
cool.
some more.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I'm excited to show the unboxing of that. It was a pretty fun video to make, and yeah, just fun time getting to say thanks, and that's the majority of the video is just saying thank you, and the most important thank yous to everybody, and is whatever. Just check the video out if you want to see the thank yous. One of my show and tells is I just bought this Botswana agate. I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not like forgetting the right name of it, but I'm pretty sure it's a Botswana, and I bought it because this is the biggest Botswana I've ever seen. And
Whoa.
let's see if I can get it to focus here.
Oh yeah, that's a Botswana.
Dang.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that's
And
so nice.
I saw it and I'm like, it will be mine, and I bought it. So I was pretty excited. I was like, I'm gonna buy that and I'm gonna cut it open. And now that I have it, I'm like,
I don't know if I can cut it open.
I'm gonna just hang out this for a bit. Another one that I will be cutting is I have a whole tub of these like really big Brazilian agates.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
So I have another one. It's like up here and it's got tons of water level bands and stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to cut all that big stuff. So.
heck yeah.
Nice.
Dude, I was drooling over those condor agates you cut the other
That was so
recently.
fun.
Like, oh my gosh, those are so nice.
Yeah, I was telling Kyle, I'm like, that is the most expensive 3 agates I've ever bought.
I bet.
And then I like did more like research on other ones. I'm like, I think I paid too much for those. But I got in an eBay bidding war. I'm like, I will not lose these.
Yeah.
Not too far.
If you want to find another expensive agate, look up polyhedroid agates. And
Oh my gosh.
Try to find a whole one that hasn't been cut.
Those are some of my favorite agates, and they're literally
I'll have to look into
impossible to get. They're so cool.
I got
Another cool one.
Sounds cool.
They're super cool. I got one that that's I bought. I think I got off eBay maybe. But I got a whole one, and I think I might have did a small video on it or a show and tell, whatever it was. I can't bring myself to cut it.
I would. Don't touch it, dude. Seriously, don't cut it.
It's hard. Yeah, there's a few of them where it's just like I don't know if I can cut this. I bought this to cut it and see what's going on in there. I'm like,
Can't do it.
Hang on to it for a bit. It's too pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they'll
do
tell
that
you
with
when
a
they
lot
want to
of
get cut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like if I get it to cut and then I can't bring myself to cut it, it'll just live on my bench and stare at me every day for a month or two until I finally make up my mind. It's like, nope, this is a specimen. Or okay, yeah, I decided how we're going to cut it. Actually, one of my show and tells, well, technically all my show and tells, but one of my show and tells is an agate that there's no way I'm cutting this one.
Yeah.
No freaking way.
Taylor, do you have more to show us, or are we like gonna check out this thing that this fable that Ed is feeding us right now about this incredible agate?
It's fake news.
Right.
It's just like this big, just normal clear chalcedony. They look how nice that is.
So let's
Okay.
see.
All right. Well, we're gonna go in no particular order. I had to bring one of these because I love this stuff, and the first time I had heard of it was in an Agate Dad video. This is a migdaloidal basalt, but
Woohoo.
Montana version.
Nice.
So those are Montana agate pockets, and all those dark green is literally just green jasper. Not,
Sweet.
Oh, that's cool.
and they're
Look
so
at
cool.
Kyle. He like rushed right
Oh, I
back.
I know.
I could maybe make this better.
Wait, I'm missing something.
I was
Might
trying
be
to get
able to-
I was trying to get River to say goodnight to me, and she's like really hyper and wasn't giving me a hug or a kiss for goodnight. I'm like, give me a hug.
It's all oily because I literally cut it today, so I can't. It won't hold on to water. I was trying to get it to show up better, but yeah, we got a bunch of this stuff in a recent
Very
video.
cool.
Well,
Very cool.
not recent hunt, future video. There we go. This is one of the things I bought on my way down to Kemmerer, and I love it. That
Oh yeah. Okay.
is a
Oh.
huge
take a
Mammites
second.
ammonite.
Yes, it is.
It was
That's
a
cool.
mid-Cretaceous. If we get
Wow.
it close, it has some
Mhm.
crazy sutures in there.
Ooh.
And this is the coolest part about it, though. It is covered. That's actually not matrix. Those are all oyster shells,
What?
fossil
That's
oysters.
cool.
So it has a bunch of matrix still on it. So I bought 2 of these. So I'm gonna finish prepping them out to expose everything, and then I'm gonna polish the other one.
Wow.
This thing is, I mean, it's not a little ammonite.
No.
Very happy about this one because it's in really, really good shape, completely calcified, and covered in fossil oysters as well as, yeah, it's just nice.
Got a case of the barnacles. That's pretty
It's
neat.
awesome. Okay, so this is, I mentioned that I got a box, crazy box from my dear friend Derek the Rockmaster, and he included something in there that I had never heard of, and he literally is the person that put them on the papers, like they were undiscovered before he and his friend found them, and it's lignitized wood. But there's something special about this lignitized wood. They literally have to go dive for it.
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh, wait for it.
Oh.
Filled?
Stop
Yeah.
it.
Is that the stuff from Alabama?
It's from Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, this is different. There's like a tiny little space where you have to dive to find it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so pretty. It's just filled with smoky quartz crystals.
Wow.
Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
Well, next year, I'm actually going to be going because me and Alexis go to Florida like twice a year because her family lives down there. Next spring, I'm going to go down a whole week early, and me and Derek are going to go to Georgia and Alabama and North Carolina just to do 7 straight days of rock hunting. And this is actually one of the places we're going to be going, and I'm so freaking excited. He has some chunks at his house that are like several hundred pounds just filled with crystals.
Whoa.
They're insane.
Do you know if that's the stuff he got with like Rick and Henry?
It might be. I don't know. I don't know if he took them to that spot or not. I know he went with his friend Chris, not Paleo
Okay.
Chris Bobowick.
Because
yeah, I don't know.
Rick's. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say Rick sent me a piece of that stuff that's like massive. It's really, really pretty. Same thing like crystals,
Yeah.
and it's like this big. It's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same spot or not, but it could be. I know that Derek knows those guys, so
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry, there was another huge rattle outside. Now my brain's just like, okay, so this is probably the weirdest Montana agate I've ever found. I will never cut this. You couldn't pay me to cut this thing. Here it is. Looks like a normal Montana agate, right? Also, not a small agate. That's pretty big agate. Oh, I'm covering it with my hand. Pretty big agate. Wait for it. It is covered with tubes all the way around. Whole
Wow.
thing.
Whoa.
It's a tube agate. with tubes going in all different directions
That's cool.
across the whole thing.
Contour
love
polish it.
So no polish. So I was actually at a fossil site on the river that I go to because it has a lot of ammonites and baculites. I picked it up because I saw that texture right there, and I thought it was a stromatolite.
Oh wow.
That's like all that was poking up was that like lumpy, bumpy,
way.
wavy texture. So, and it was covered in silt, so it looked just dark gray. I just saw that texture. I was like, "Ooh, nice stromatolite." Started picking it up, and then it started glowing, and I'm like, "Wait a second." So I ran into the water, got it washed off, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Yeah, I sent Kyle a video, which is probably playing right now, that does it way better justice than the dang Zoom camera. It's so nice. I love it so much. It's so exciting.
Can I polish it for you?
No. No, you cannot.
Or cut it.
Come on.
No,
Actually, never mind about the cutting. Not really interested.
Yeah.
No,
I've never.
For something like that, I wouldn't even want to cut it. Like I think for something like that, just a simple Dremel contour polish, like in areas, would be the best for that. Just don't cut it. Just contour polish it in spots.
I don't know if I have the heart to do that because it's like there's tubes throughout the whole thing, but every tube is like covered in bots, almost like the Blue Forest wood.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I'm like, dude, I can't I can't touch this. It's so not. It's so different. I don't know. We found like thousands of Montana agates, and we've found a lot of Montana agates that are tube agates, but never like this. I mean, usually when you find tube agates in Montana agates, they're all like going in this roughly the same direction. This one, the tubes are just all sticking in a different direction. It's the coolest thing ever. All surrounded by quartz. I'm actually tempted to let me see if I can get this to show. See this seam right here?
Yeah.
I'm tempted to try to scrap away the quartz.
Oh, interesting. That would
So
be a
that
cool
it is
thing.
completely down to the agate.
Do it.
And I'm afraid of what that's going to do to my tips, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see what I want to do with it. I don't know yet. Like I was saying earlier, it's going to just sit on my bench and stare at me for a few months until I figure out what I want to do with it, if anything. Oh my gosh. Dude, what is going on outside? This is crazy.
There's somebody with what are those people that make the sound effects for movies and stuff like that? Somebody
Foley
with
artist?
the big like metal thing
Yeah.
going, yeah.
The Foley artist.
Foley artist, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
With shoes,
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I mean, it's dude, we're in Montana. We don't get thunderstorms like this late in the year. It's weird. All right, well, that was all of my show and tells. I mean, I guess I have this sitting here, but that was from the last show, so just figured I'd show it anyway.
But you did show it again.
I have
so
showed
thank you.
and told.
All right, Ed, thank you so much. Hopefully you're not 19 different way of being lost.
No, I think we've gone down to 17.
Okay. Still singular. How about you, Kurt? What's good for shows and tells?
Well, I'll start with sorry, I don't know what to do. But actually, before we do show and tell real quick, I was wanting to say earlier when we were talking about agates, Taylor, have you looked up Chinese fighting agates?
No, I haven't heard of that.
Those are
Check
cool.
those out. Those are crazy cool.
They are.
I'll have to look into that. I've heard of like the Gobi. I think I'm saying that right. Gobi agates.
Yeah.
And like those are wild. There's like I don't even want to see one that like is this big and what the price of that would be. Because the ones I look, I'm like they're like the size of my thumb, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They're really
most
cool.
Most of the Chinese fighting ones are hard to find whole. Most of them that I've seen online are all cut open, but
yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah,
they're cool.
They're bright orange and red, crazy bands and quartz pockets and stuff.
It's a lot of them have amethyst too, from the other that I've seen.
That's cool.
Those kind of pretty.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I could have done a screen share, but that's fine.
That works too.
That was efficient.
Yeah. But for show and tell, I just realized. So I've been finding these red and black stones that I thought was feldspar because it's very similar to some of the granite as far as like color and texture. That's here in the area, and most like you mainly find in most of the rivers and creeks. And I've been sitting here doing hardness tests while doing the podcast, and I think they're jasper. So they're. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if my camera will pick up, but they're black and red.
That looks super shirty, jaspery.
Yeah,
They're really beautiful. But you know that video I sent y'all yesterday or earlier about me pulling out this 40, 50-pound boulder?
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Ooh.
That's like makes me want to go back and get it.
You should go back and get it.
Yeah, you should take a second look at that one.
But anyway, Taylor, like you didn't see the video. I didn't know my girlfriend was videoing me. I saw the big boulder in the river, and I balanced my stomach on this big other boulder and reached into the river because it was like it had to be like 20-degree water. I didn't want to get in the river, so I just like balanced myself and reached in there, and I'm like trying to pull this thing out, and I almost fall in. And
like you're teeter-tottering, like high speed on this big boulder. Yeah.
And then later when like we got down to the car, she's like, "You want to see something funny?"
That's funny.
But
that's what significant others are for.
Yeah.
They go get it.
I'd show. I can. I guess these are my show and tell. These black and red pieces of jasper. I'll send Kyle a video clip. See anything else? I can show this piece of granite. It's kind of hard to see it. It's covered with schist on top, and then you have red feldspar, and then you have like a mix of like quartz and smoky quartz. Let me go get it wet real quick. 1 second.
So if only he had a spray bottle of some kind. Oh no, I'm running low.
I think Theo got struck by lightning.
Yeah. He's checking on his car. Wow, that is really pretty. Look at those colors.
Beautiful red feldspar. And like that's what I meant why I thought this black stuff was similar material, but hardness test shows it's at least an 8. So I'm guessing it's a jasper. But this is a piece of there's a lot of this granite out in this creek bed we've been hiking up lately. And so
I think that granite is underrated.
I agree completely.
Don't take it for.
What?
Don't take it for.
Oh. Yeah.
Don't take it for granted. There's at least 2 dads here. Someone's got to make a joke.
I was going to say, there's your dad joke for the episode.
Yeah.
Get one more.
Box.
Once I get back from Texas, I'll probably cut that open on the new saw.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to see that. That'll be pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty much my show and tell.
All right. Well, thank you, Kurt, for sharing those. How about you, Kyle?
Well, it's small. Maybe. Here we go. All right.
Yeah, I don't even see it.
It's right here. So I know someone else that does lives, but they do lives on TikTok, and I can't remember if it was a Instagram reel or what, but he had little Pokeballs made out of jasper and some kind of white material, probably some kind of like marble, I'm guessing. And I'm like, I have to have it. So I got 2 Pokeballs.
What?
Oh,
I'm gonna need to make those. And they're broken.
Right.
So,
he's got carpet.
I'm like, I have to have these. So these are gonna be a future video. I'm gonna gild the inside of the ball there. And I'm like, I got some gold leaf. I might as well give it a whirl. This will actually be a lot easier than gilding fish, and it'll be noticeable this time. So I'm gonna gild me some Pokeballs.
That's awesome, man. On Facebook, I saw an ad for those, and I tagged you and Theo in them. I figured y'all haven't seen them. That's funny that you actually got some.
I saw that, and I'm like, okay, future project. we're doing that.
I don't think I saw that one because this actually is from Minotaur Studios, and so he sells stuff on Instagram. But yeah, oh no, I'm sorry, TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, I have to have it. I'm like, dude, like, how much are these? And he's like, yeah, I think $4 each. I'm like, I want to. Just
I'll take
buy it.
Done.
But now I kind of want to make, like, it'd be really cool. I don't care who does it, as long as someone does it, to make a series collection of like the Pokeballs from like the first generation. So like, you got, regular,
Great Ultra.
Yeah,
Master.
and then like a Master Ball.
Yeah.
So if I don't do that, someone needs to, because
Make your challenge.
I would love to do that. You're card carrying Pokemon nerd right here, so I'm on it.
That's one thing I'm going to get when I go to Texas. Is my entire collection that's somewhere in boxes in some storage room.
you probably have like $100,000 in Pokemon cards that you don't even know it. It's a growing trend now.
Yeah, that's like totally off subject, but the value of Pokemon cards is definitely not
crazy.
something I could ever imagine that you could attribute Logan Paul for. But thanks, Logan Paul, for making Pokemon cards expensive.
Yeah, now I'm kicking myself now for selling like several hundred Pokemon cards for like $50.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the condition mine are in, because I remember when I was a kid, I put them all in a box and I wrapped rubber bands around all of them and put them in a box somewhere, and then that went into storage, and I haven't seen it in 20 years. So
Yeah, no, all mine were in like the sleeve, like
they were in there in one of those, but I took them out and boxed them up.
But anyways, the Pokeballs were my show and
Yeah.
tell.
Those
Much
are
teaser
cool.
for a future video come here soon.
Right, because he's gonna slap some gold on it, like everything.
Yeah.
Midas.
You should do that.
Kyle's just over here gilding everything in his shop.
Yeah.
My phrase has gone from
Like
will it
holds
take a
gold.
polish to can I gild it?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you, Kyle.
So Taylor, if you want a gold play button, you know who to talk to.
Definitely a good one from you over real life.
Awesome. All right. Well, real quick here, I've got this rock, and this guy is actually from some hunting that we did in Central Oregon, and we were in the Crooked River Caldera, and it's just weird and super gloopy. So there's an area of rhyolite here, and it's kind of Swiss cheesy and filled with things. And then there's like it's hard to see, but I did send Kyle a video, but there's like super bodiness and buggy little holes where Druzy lives. And I was explaining it on my live that there were all these teardrop shaped vugs that were agate that had formed inside very, very viscous rhyolite, that if you can imagine pulling taffy or bread dough, how like the bubbles turn from being perfectly circular to being kind of like a pulled teardrop shape. Well, that's all these little agates were coming out of this formation in these teardrop agates, like, and some of them had little quartz centers and stuff like that. And
That's
like
cool.
the biggest one I got was about this big. And I didn't think that I had a visual, but this little side of this rock, which seems to be the all sorts rock, it's got kind of everything that was going on in that area in one rock. Has like the tiny little teardrops, like it was pulled, and you can even see if in the video, or let's see, where was I on this little face, like even those holes, you're not going to be able to see it on the zoom cam, sorry,
Yeah.
are kind of like stretched. And so you ever have a rock that you find that you're just like, you are so many different things, kind of like your the agate that you just showed, that one, the tube one,
Interstage
where
lip.
like you're like a all sorts statement on everything geologically weird about this place. And in a succinct little form. And so I can't wait to cut that one, because it might be really neat on the inside, but even if I cut it, it's not super neat on the inside. It's just like such a story of all of the crazy stuff that was going on in the Columbia River basalt's time of the Crooked River caldera, which I like crazy stuff in the first place, because it has something to do with the Yellowstone hotspot. So then there's the agate Australian boulder opal spray tan that I've been wearing for the last 2 weeks. And the way to, like, again, I don't think I have the master agate, or rather opal chunk with me, but I've been working on it. And if you watch the live, alternate Fridays, I do a live stream instead of the podcast. And so I did show off what I was doing during the live, I believe. And you can see that the master has these like ribbons going through it. And so you kind of have to get in there with a smaller tool, like a rotary carving, to almost kind of like with a contour carving that you would do with a fire agate. You have to go in there and find the terrain and then cut that out. And so I have like a little handful of like these shards. Kyle has the video of these guys too, but you're slicing these opals off of the big mother opal, trying to get as much of the good opal as possible. It is like such a crazy chess game if you've got a difficult boulder opal that has several different color bars in it, and you're just having to move a bunch of the ironstone, and therein lies the spray tan, because that ironstone, and it's like oily kind of. And so once it gets on you, like I try to like take it off and I just look like an Oompa Loompa or something.
Dude, it's the messiest rock on the planet. Oh my gosh.
Like you literally have to go take a shower before it will come off of your skin. I mean, it's indelible. Insane. Like your hands are orange. And so it's not like you're going to go answer the door for, like the postman comes or something.
Well, I will. I would. I wouldn't care.
And so the different videos that I sent you, Kyle, there's one that just shows the different tiers coming off of the master opal, and so you can kind of show those in the progression where you're taking like this one that's at this weird angle and you're saving this space, but the next one comes in like that, and so then you have to go undercut that and see how much is going on this surface. And you can kind of see that in the couple of videos that I sent, how it's getting a little smaller, it's melting like ice cream. And then I have to go and see how much of the good opal I preserved in those shards that I just kind of held up. It's such a gamble. It's so my Las Vegas, though.
Yeah,
like,
totally. Yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. Boulders are so much fun.
It's so good when it works, and then it's so bad when it doesn't. And so... Yeah, this is one of those
are some expensive duds when it happens.
Or when you ruin it. Like, I have killed some opals because, and I'll actually just go ahead and flip into the words of wisdom with a seamless segue. But you think that you're getting better at things, and of course you are. You've been doing this for a little while, and you're not quite a bib anymore, or Berber, and
Berber.
then you go and you attack an opal and kill it, and you're just like, wow, I guess that maybe I am still a baby a bit, or you get better and you learn a lot, and then you probably are smart to keep a learner's mind and keep it open so that you can even learn more about how not to destroy your good stuff. That's my words of wisdom tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey Taylor, have you got some wise for us?
In regards to lapidary, rockhounding, or anything?
Life.
Or just life, yeah.
Anything.
Life?
It can be random.
Oh gosh.
Shopping hacks? Oh, that's correct.
I just say just find something that not only fills your cup but gets it to run over, and then just dive in. You only get one life. Do what makes you happy. Spread happiness. don't be negative. If something's making you negative, change it. Be happy, because it's awesome being happy. And find your silver linings, because there's a lot of garbage that happens in life. You can find that silver lining. You can just get through it. So
love it. Yeah, I'm into that. All right, thank you. And let's see, Id, how about yours?
Mine has to do with a few of the projects I have right now, specifically the one that I'm working on for the second channel, and a few that I have fossils to prep on the bench right now. If it's difficult, it's probably worth doing. Like, for real though, because I don't know, you do some simple projects and it's like, oh, I feel good about this, but there's no feeling that comes close to when you bite off a little more than you can chew, or it's a bigger bite than you were expecting. When you finish that project, it's like the best feeling in the world, and you're just picking up more muscle memory and technique every time you step outside of your comfort zone. So yeah, if it's difficult, it's probably worth doing.
And after you finish the project, you sleep like a Berber.
Yeah, Berber.
Exactly. Thank you for that, Ed and Kyle. So true. How about you, Kurt? Have you got some wines for us tonight?
I don't know. I was totally unprepared. I was prepared, but then I wasn't prepared. So
I was prepared to be unprepared.
I'll just say, so like earlier today, I was just chilling in my car in the parking lot, and there's this black SUV that pulled up in front of this silver SUV, and the lady got out and was like walking around the car, like, where, this kind of like talking loudly, like, where are those keys? Like I'm guessing she was trying to like put something in this person's car, but they're looking for that hidden spare key, but she's walking around saying it loud. Like, I'm just chilling, like right next to that car, and then the lady's, oh, there it is, and pulls it out and opens the door and puts it back. I'm just like,
like, lady, now I can steal this car, and I did. Moral of the story: hang out in parking lots. You might get a car out of it.
Yeah, people being more discreet about stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't know
when you move the car and teach her a lesson.
Yeah, you just park it on the other side of the lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Take a video.
Yeah.
Content.
Reaction video. Yeah. All right. So if you're out there, be more discreet next time when you're trying to, put something in somebody's car. Kurt is watching.
I'm not the type of person to break into your car.
But he will out you on his podcast.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Kurt. How about you, Kyle? Some wise?
Before I get my words of wisdom, I'll add on to Kurt's add on that a little bit. So when I was working in pest management, a lot of times I'd have to I'd have to spray around people's doors, and so I have to move mats and stuff. You can always tell when there's a hidden key when you move them. You can hear a I'm pretty sure there's a key underneath there. So if you have a key underneath the mat, please move it somewhere else, because this the most easy place that someone's like, oh, there's gonna be a hidden key. It's gonna be right here.
It's in
and don't buy one of those fake hide rocks, because those ones will, if you have to, find someone that knows how to cut a rock and make so the rock actually blend in with your everything else, and then put the key in there.
Those fake rocks, you can point out every single time.
Or the fake sprinkler heads too, because they make them for sprinkler heads too.
Oh wow!
When I was growing up, we had one of those little lawn ornament turtles that went with everything else just in the garden, but it had a little open hatch underneath it, and that's where the spare key was. No one ever thought of the turtle. I'll tell you that right now. No one expects the turtle.
No one suspects, except for the kids who like turtles.
Can I undo my words of wisdom?
I don't know if there's go backs on that. Okay, we can try.
All right. Give it back.
Sorry, go on, Kyle.
Anyway, I dropped my lid. Or cap.
And we are off the rails now.
Hold on. Okay. So my words of wisdom, it's don't hesitate to ask questions if you want to learn how to do something, or if you want insight on something. Because I'm not hesitant to ask questions to people that, especially some people that are successful. For example, Taylor. I've been asking him a lot of stuff over the last several days, and feel back there's a lot of messages going back and forth, but it never hurts to ask someone that is successful, so you can kind of get insight of how they do it, or like how can you improve on your stuff, so you can kind of pave your own path to kind of help get to where you want to be. Don't hesitate to ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, how are you going to know to grow? This is always ask questions, always be willing to learn. So that's my words of wisdom.
Yeah. And I will say, Kyle, don't feel bad. I had so much fun, because the back end of this is like, the social media stuff. I think it's extremely fun, and I just want to share little things that I've learned with anybody else, and also learn too from other people. It's just, it goes both ways. So it was really fun. So if anybody ever wants to reach out and ask questions about stuff, just do it. I love talking about it. So
it's really funny. So if you do ask people questions, especially if they're voice messages, always make sure you're not doing something. Because I was in the middle of flipping eggs and making breakfast when I was messaging Taylor. So I was like, hold on, I got to flip this egg, and I'll be right back.
I was like, what was that? And then he told me, like, that makes total sense now.
Yeah, mystery sounds are always a little like, what's somebody doing? Did you have something, Kurt?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I was gonna add to Kyle's. There's no stupid question, so
you can never ask too many questions.
Yeah, agreed. And actually, to Taylor's point a bit earlier, the flip side of that asking question thing is that you get to be of service to somebody if you do know the answer, and you can be a mentor, and you can like pass on and continue the cycle of the learning and the things that you are amassing. It's easy, and like you said, Taylor, it's fun.
It's fun. And Kyle and I were talking a lot about Meta, or mainly Facebook, and that's one thing that I told a bunch of people, like, get on there. You got to get on there. If you're posting on YouTube, you have to post on Facebook. It's so easy. Just do it at the same time. So I've been trying to get a bunch of people to get on there. Like there's like no rock community on there. Let's do it. So
actually, like you saying that, like I just have mine attached to my Instagram, so it's easy for me to just pay attention to the Instagram, and like sometimes I go into the Facebook and I'm like, why do I have all these like the notifications, like what in the world? And because they're seeing the stuff that I'm putting over on Instagram. But it's cool that you're actually pushing the community on that platform. I don't hang out there very much because of that, I think. And so if everybody's over there, then there's the party. So
and I think right now it's very, very undersaturated, and it needs to be oversaturated. Oversaturation is so good. And I know when I was starting on there, I'm like, it is so hard to like get anywhere on this platform. And I was like this close to deleting the page and just being done with it. And things happened, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start over, basically, and fresh mind with it, and just kept grinding on it, and it's become my biggest platform now. So
you've done a fantastic job. Every single time I get on, like, and I start scrolling through videos, first rock video that always pops up is one of yours. Oh, yep, that's Taylor's.
That's awesome. Everybody get on there. And like I know, and like I felt this way too when I like started doing multi-platform stuff. Like it's a lot. It's really, really daunting. And like there was a point where I'm like, I was posting like a couple videos a week, and I was like, I'm gonna post every day for a month, and I was like tapped out after that. But then I went back, or no, excuse me, it was 3 videos a day for a month, and then I pulled back to 1 video a day. I'm like, this isn't so bad. So I like tricked my brain into like, I can do this. And now I'm posting like 3-4 videos a day on every platform, and it's like I just reset the timer. And if I don't have the content, who cares? But if I have it, then I post it. So there's no pressure.
There's the
Just
their
do it.
words of wise is overdo it first so that when you're doing it regular, it feels good.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Theo said. Like if it's something that makes you feel a little uneasy and you're kind of scared to do it, like you lean into that. That's what you
Yeah.
should do, for sure. It's a good move.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I'm like, I'm scared to do that, and then but you should do that. Take your own advice. Yeah.
Do it just
All right.
once, and then go from there. But I promise you, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I
Like-
think it'd be really fun.
I'm willing to put money down that. Actually, no, I'm willing to bet like this piece of fire obsidian that like you will love it.
I knew it.
If you don't love it,
Uh,
I'll give
Yeah.
you this. But
Yeah, I always think like which one to do it on, because like Facebook, I think it'd be easy to do it on Facebook and YouTube. But then it's like, do you do it vertical or do you do it horizontal? And then I'm like, so too much thinking going on. I'm gonna just make sure it's
I
Fair
mean,
enough.
my honest opinion, landscape, YouTube,
Mhm.
don't do vertical. Trust me. It's just-
and that's what I would assume too, with
So-
YouTube at least.
yeah.
I like it as far as being able to see the scope of, we're about eye candy. Unless you're just really good. Like if you've got a great, scripted mouth all the time, but we're showing off these things, and I feel like most of the time the landscape works best for that, and
Mhm.
and gives you a little bit more room for yourself, say, and a subject. Because I do also find that on the lives they want to see you, like even if it's just for a little bit. I definitely noticed that it changes their interaction with you, and the how many people are watching. It's like they do like to engage
Mhm.
with a face sometimes. And
Yeah,
so-
because it's
Yeah.
more like a conversation at that point,
So do you just like change your like tripod camera setup and then get in front of it and then move
I
it
mean,
back?
there's different ways to do it. I mean, I
Whenever
I
I,
bought a
try
That's
mirror.
what I
to,
did.
I bought a mirror, so like if I'm in the middle of doing something, I can put the mirror in front of the camera and be like, "Hey," to make sure people can see
Oh.
my face.
he learned that from his Sully. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good idea.
But it works. It's like rather than have to keep, because depending what camera you use, sometimes you have to like switch cameras a couple times to get back to the where you need to be. So I figure I'll make it easy, buy a small little like $4 mirror from Walmart, and like I was good.
That's some genius there, Kyle. One of the ways that I figured out how my phone reacts poorly to live streams is I kept on moving it. And it was the time that I was faceting. So I brought everybody along and talk about not being able to talk while you do something. Like I'm like trying to do this mathy, angly
Yeah,
thing.
fasting sounds like worst case scenario.
It was awful, but people wanted to see it. I'm like, it's going to be terrible and boring, but you guys wanted it. So I'll go ahead and show you how awful it is. And I ended up, I kept on moving it because there's the faceting machine right there. So I had it up on that shelf, on a clip. And then I would like change it so that I could see them. And then I would change it so that they could see closer to the faceting machine and not just me doing it and that sort of thing. And my phone absolutely had a hissy fit and like overheated and shut down the live stream like twice. And I'm like, okay. So I think that in the beginning, it's probably like I solved that by just having a little clip that I could move from the place where they could see me to the place where I was going to work and then back again. So I didn't have to touch the phone at all. I was really happy about that. So you kind of figure out these things, and that's maybe why to have a couple like runs where like I'm just this is gonna be terrible, and just you guys can all laugh at me.
Yeah. Start it that way. Welcome. This is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Temper your expectations.
Yeah. Very, very short,
I'm pretty sure that's like how mine started, was being like, I've never done this. Expect it to be very sloppy.
Yeah. But it was infectious enough just even that first time where I was like, okay, I can't wait to do it again. I'm learning. So
yeah,
it's all good.
with the 2 times I did it on TikTok, I was like, I want to do that again. And I did it again like the next day or a couple days later. I'm like, that was so much more fun than the first time. And then I don't know why I just didn't do it again. You just get busy and get caught up with stuff. But it's been on my mind for, I don't even know how long ago that was. It was back when the cabbie machine was in that corner and the wall wasn't green. So it was a while ago.
Time to try again.
Yeah, I should. You're gonna talk me into it. Now I'm gonna think about it all the rest of the week.
Let
and
me
weekend
know
and-
what day it is. If it's not on a day where I'm doing my live sales, like I'm more than happy to pop in and like kind of help where you need help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd totally be there.
That'd be
Yeah.
another thing too, is find people that you trust to have be
Just let us know.
moderators for chat. That way,
Mhm.
if you have bots that come in, because like sometimes bots will come in that are kind of inappropriate, and you know it helps to have people
Yeah.
catch those really quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too worried about like that kind of thing anymore. Like it's not like it bothered me. It's just like let's just keep it appropriate. But yeah, I think the main thing is like I mean, usually it's going to be at night, so like I was like not worrying about kids being on or something because I know like I have a lot of like families that watch with their kids and they can rely on it being like safe for kids to watch and stuff. They're cussing or anything like that. But if you start getting like inappropriate bot comments, it's like that's
Yeah.
not cool. Don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't have any moderators for gosh. I mean, it might have been between a half dozen to a dozen of the lives. I just hadn't thought of it. I thought, it's not going to happen, and it did. Somebody came and trolled like crazy, and like all
Trolls are
these people
funny.
in my chat were like, "You need a moderator, like get rid of this person." I
That's
was like,
funny.
"Okay, moderator."
I was gonna say, I think we got one on my live also. And freaking,
Yeah.
you guys were on it so fast. Like I was reading, like trying to get caught back up in the chat, and that was taken care of before I even knew it was an issue.
The community will swarm.
Yeah, dude.
They do.
It was
So
either
having
That's funny.
good mods is a very good thing.
I think it's either Brian or myself that got that.
I think it was Brian. Brian
Yeah.
was on it fast. And I was like, wait, what just happened? He's like,
Yeah, he
"The
was like,
bot, don't worry
nope."
about it.
Love it.
I need to send him a box. He helped so much.
Awesome. All right. So everybody knows to go find Taylor on all the social media, and you're always Agate Dad on all the social
Mhm.
media, right? And so
Yep.
you got that on lock. If it doesn't look like this guy, then it's one of the other Agates. So
Well, they
here's your
do use my
verification.
face.
That one.
Some of the pictures they picked, I'm like, why'd you pick that one? I don't even know what you're thinking. So it's the page that has more followers than the others and is active and doesn't have a foreign phone number in the contact info.
Right. There you go.
No phone numbers on mine. It's this
If
email.
it's in Russian, it's not Taylor.
Yeah. It's
All
not
right.
me. No.
Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us this evening. It's been such a pleasure. We need to have you on like way sooner. For
Yeah,
the
I agree
next
with
It's so
time.
fun. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been a real treat. I appreciate it so much.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
And
Well,
thank all of you for hanging out all the way to the end. You did it. And while you're doing that, go ahead and leave us a comment about where you're watching from and what you're up to. And then also remember, if you want to come and join us over on the Discord, you can join our Discord by sending us an email in the one in the description, and we will send you the invite back. Okay. And then also that same email address is the one that you'd use if you want to do some viewer show and tell with us. Send us your pictures and we will go ahead and put them on the show. The next viewer show and tell that we have will be coming up soon because I'm sure that that email box is filling up. I haven't been over there for a little bit. So that's what usually happens. Then of course that's another hour looking through everybody's eye candy. So I got to be careful about that. Thanks again. Have a great weekend doing all of your rock hounding and doing fun things. Stay safe, and on behalf of all of us here, keep rocking. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Bye.
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 Well.